Hello, kittens. Welcome to Ricky's basement. I hope you're having a good time. Now, who wants to watch me cook up a beet? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've been having this thought, one second. Could I beat Adolf Hitler in a fist fight? I hope that I'm allowed to say that without getting kicked off live stream because I just did this, but it's a legitimate question. Could I beat Adolf Hitler in could I beat Adolf Hitler in a rap battle? My bad. I know I could beat him in a rap battle. As long as it's not the one from the Hitler versus Darth Vader. I can never beat him. Normal Adolf Hitler, not hype on that because I saw the video about it ending in a rap battle between him and World War II, and I have better flow than him. I'll admit. He had flow than video. He had good bars, but that's it. Anyways, I could beat him. Could not beat him in a fist fight though. I mean, he wasn't at all predisposed to like being that healthy of a guy. I mean, he's known for having a lot of health conditions, like ingrown balls and that stuff, like um, like what? There's let me go look at it on Wikipedia. There we go. He had IBS, skin lesions, irregular heartbeat, coronary sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, syphilis, giant cell arteritis, tinnitus, and monorchism, which is having one testicle. Which I saw that short, so I don't know. Anyways, that's none of those really apply to strength. I mean, they might have made him weaker in different situations, but whatever. I'm a child though, so I don't think I could have beaten Adolf Hitler. He was a full-grown adult. I just realized that you won't be able to actually see my stream. I might play a preview of what I've been working on actually. All right, let's start over. This is called Uprising. It's going on my new album Ricky FM, just so you know. What is going on? One second. Overloaded. The hell do you mean by that? Overloaded. Optimizing CPU uses my freezing trash. What? Yo, have I? By the way, I'm hoping. It looks like it's like the middle of the night, but it's like 9:50 right now. So I'm trying to be quiet, be mindful of my parents. It says I've used up. How did I use up all my CPU? There's no, there's no boogeyman out there to body my cheeks. Don't worry. Hold on. Things you do on the internet stay there. That means that in 1,000 years, people might still be able to hear me say that. What? But very much. That's pretty much where it ends right there. Oh, I've been. Hey, pickles. Did you like the Daddy? Daddy's proud of you, you know. Daddy's really, really proud of you. Now, I don't want to work on this because this is going to be on the album. I just wanted to play it one time. And the album's coming out. Today is June 8th. It comes out on the 15th. It's going to be 7 days. Not very long. But for now, I'll go ahead and make a song just so that you know how it works. Um, Freaky PP loves you, you know, because they're so beautiful. She doesn't know that I'm making. Now soundtrack is trying to load. Also, all right, it's loaded. But just give me a second. My computer is suffering because of. Okay. Now, I like this. I'm doing this in every stream. Nobody is watching me. So sad. Whatever. Okay, now I'm here. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, let's load a new one, and we're gonna call this one something really good. Such as Johnny Dill. All right, our song has been named. So now, number one, you can't actually see it, so there's samples like that. I mean, that's just a whole song, but we could choose to rap over that, but we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna make our own. So in case you're wondering, I'm not using FL Studios. I'm using Soundtrap. All right, we got this obnoxious beat now. Time to add extra layer just to it. All right. Next up, you gotta put after that. Bars. Next up, we're going to, for no reason, go ahead. No, quantize. Yeah. All right, now maybe wondering where the heck is the 808, and well, here it is. Well, let's find a good one. We can go to synth. Let's go to the goofiest one. Oh, that's pretty good. This is not gas. Now we're gonna put some light. We'll put some light. Yeah, get rid of that piano. Yeah, replace the. You know what? We'll replace it with horror sound effects. Sure. All right. All right. It's tuba time. This is sounding like a certified Johnny Dill song. To be fair. Hold on. No violin. We got the beat down. I'll just clarify this would be like a cooking session and nothing more. So yeah, I'm gonna add one more sound effect. There's a bell. Ah, it's so peak. All right, we just need one shots. The very stereotypical like King Von album. None of these goofy ones. Like that. If I can find it. But that sounds pretty good. Doesn't sound anything like what I want, but alright. It's the best we getting. Now what we do is we go copy and paste it, then merge the two. So that I can just basically loop them every 4 bars. Hold on. Let me play one. Let me go find. I wonder if you probably haven't even been able to see me, whoever's watching this in the future. Should I have the stream open in a different? I'm a genius. I should have it open in a different tab. Wait, hold on. No. Then. Alright. Dr. Dre cooks up a beat. Alright. Let me show you what my inspiration is. Yep. And this. What's that? Was that the Metro Boomin producer tag? All right. Anyways, um, this is going nowhere. We gotta cook up something truly inspirational. Kind of goes cold. I should have. I have no life. I'm. I'm alone. Mm. All right, we can wrap over this now. Oh, I need the horror sound effects. This is a good one. Sounds so industrial. It's so unique and modern. All right, time to write up some bars. I'm not. As always, I like to pull up some inspiration. I think I can play this without getting copyright claimed, but maybe no free advertising. All right, that's enough of that. Back to Johnny Diddle. No difference, right? All right, some Drake highlights. Let me think off the top of my head. All right, Johnny Diddle. There's also. Let me look it up. Johnny Drill. Johnny Dig a Hole. What if I just showed you guys my credit card number? That would be pretty bad. You know what I can show you though? So that's how I cook up beats. Now I'm gonna. All right, there's our intro. Can't think of any lines right now, if I'm being honest. All dogs, all dogs go to heaven. Oh, All Dogs Go to Heaven is a 1989 animated musical fantasy comedy drama film directed by Don Bluth. It stars the voices of Lonnie Anderson, Judith Barcy in her final film role, Dom DeLuise, Melba Moore, Charles Nelson Riley, Burt Reynolds, and Vic Tayback. Set in New Orleans in 1939, it tells the story of Charlie B. Barkin, a German Shepherd mix who is murdered by his former friend, Carface Carruthers. Charlie escapes from heaven to return to Earth, where his best friend, Itchy Itchiford, still lives, to take revenge on Carface. Instead, he befriends a young orphan girl named Anne Marie. In the process, Charlie learns an important lesson about kindness, friendship, and love. All Dogs Go to Heaven was theatrically released by MGM/UA Communications Co. on 17th November 1989 in the United States and by Rank Film Distributors on 8th February 1990 in the United Kingdom and on 6th April 1990 in Ireland. It received mixed reviews from critics and was moderately successful, grossing $27.1 million on a $13 million budget. It was more successful on home video, becoming one of the highest selling VHS releases ever. It was followed by a theatrical sequel, which a television series, and a holiday direct-to-film video film. In 1939 New Orleans, Charlie B. Barkin escapes from the dog pound with the help of his best friend Itchy Itchiford and returns to their casino riverboat on the bayou. His business partner, Carface Carruthers, is surprised to see Charlie alive and is reluctant to share the profits with him. Carface had secretly been responsible for Charlie getting committed to the pound due to greed and decides decide get them out from me. Decides to get rid of him for good this time by killing him with a car pushed downhill. Despite not having done any good lifetime deeds, Charlie is automatically sent to heaven. He's then greeted by Annabelle. Who's Annabelle? Who explains to him that because dogs are inherently good and loyal, all dogs go to heaven and are entitled to paradise. But not mine. I'm kidding. My dog can be terrible sometimes, but I do love her. Taking advantage of her kindness, Charlie cheats death by stealing a pocket watch representing his life and winding it back. Oops. Oh, as Charlie descends back to Earth, the Whippet Angel tells him he can never return to heaven. When Charlie returns, he reunites with Itchy and plots revenge in the form of a rivaling business. They soon discover that Carface's success has been from a kidnapped young orphan girl named Anne Marie for her ability to talk to animals, which proves helpful when betting on races. While Charlie rescues her and promises to feed the poor and help her find a family, he takes her to a racetrack the following day to gamble. Charlie steals a wallet from a couple as they talk to Anne Marie and become concerned by her rough appearance. Charlie and Itchy use their winnings to build a successful casino in the junkyard where they live. Anne Marie threatens to leave when she realizes she has been used, but Charlie persuades her to, to stay by bringing pizza to a family of poor puppies and their mother Flo at an abandoned church. Although initially a success, Anne Marie becomes angry at Charlie when she discovers the stolen wallet. What stolen wallet? As Charlie has a nightmare in which he is condemned to hell, Anne Marie returns the wallet to the couple who introduce themselves as Kate and Harold. As they privately discuss adopting her, Charlie arrives and tricks her into leaving with him. Charlie and Anne Marie narrowly escape an ambush by Carface and his assistant killer and hide in an abandoned building. But the ground breaks and they fall into the lair of a giant alligator named King Gator. He and Charlie bond over a love of music and he lets, oh yeah, this is New Orleans, and lets them go. So that's why there's a crocodile. A crocodile, yeah, that's right, crocodile. I can't believe nobody's watching it. I've done such a good job reading all that's going to have a 2-page. Anyways. He and, yeah, but Anne Marie catches pneumonia in the process. Carface and his thugs destroy Charlie's casino and assault Itchy. Feeling abandoned, Itchy limps back to the church to confront Charlie about his relationship with Anne Marie. Charlie retorts in exasperation that he is using her and will eventually dump her in an orphanage. A heartbroken Anne Marie overhears the conversation and tearfully runs away before she is kidnapped by Carface. Charlie follows him to Carface's casino where he is ambushed by his thugs. As they fight with Charlie, they inadvertently start an oil fire that soon engulfs the whole structure. Charlie's pain howls from their bites summon King Gator, who chases down and devours Carface. During the chaos, both Anne Marie and the Watch fall into the water, but Charlie is unable to rescue both at the same time. He then decides to choose Anne Marie by placing her onto some driftwood and pushes her towards safety. But Charlie's life ends as the Watch stops before he can retrieve it. As Killer finishes pushing her to shore, Kate and Harold are waiting with police and medical personnel alongside Itchy, Flo, and the other dogs from New Orleans. Sometime later, Kate and Harold adopt Anne Marie, who has also adopted Itchy. Charlie, having sacrificed himself to save Anne Marie, has earned back his place in heaven and is allowed to return in ghost form to reconcile with Anne Marie. Leaving Itchy in her care, Charlie returns to heaven where, in a mid-credits scene, Carface finally arrives and takes his own watch, vowing revenge against King Gator. As Annabelle chases him and warns against using it, Charlie assures the audience that he'll be back. Burt Reynolds as Charlie B. Barkin, a brash German shepherd and former con artist. Dom DeLuise as Itchy Itchford, paranoid, anxious, but loyal dachshund and Charlie's best friend. Judith Barcy, Lana Beeson's singing voice, as Anna Marie, a 7-year-old orphan girl with the ability to talk to and understand animals. This was Barcy's final film role before her murder in 1988. The end credit song Love Survives was dedicated in her memory. Vic Tayback as Carface Caruthers, violent, sadistic bulldog gangster. Charles Nelson Rayleigh as Killer, a misnamed, fidgety, neurotic, and spectacles-wearing schnoodle who is Carface's comic relief sidekick. Lonnie Anderson as Flo, a female rough collie and one of Charlie's friends. Melba Moore as Annabelle, a whippet angel who welcomes deceased dogs into heaven. Ken Page as King Gator, an American alligator and voodoo witch doctor living below the streets of New Orleans. Rob Fuller and Earlene Carey as Kate and Harold, a kindly married couple who later become Anne Marie's adoptive parents. Godfrey Quigley as Terrier, a dog that appears when Itchy tells everyone Anne Marie is in danger. Anna Manahan as Stella Dallas, a horse that appears when Anne Marie, Charlie, and Itchy are at the Derby. Candy Devine as Vera, a female gambling dog. Dan Molina, uncredited, as the Hellhound in Charlie's Nightmare and at the finale. The earliest idea was conceived by Don Bluth after finishing work on The Secret of Nim. The treatment was originally about a canine private eye and one of 3 short stories making up an anthology film. The character of a shaggy German Shepherd was designed specifically for Burt Reynolds. Don Bluth Productions, however, was going through a period of financial difficulty, ultimately having to declare bankruptcy, and the idea never made it beyond rough storyboards. The concept was revived by Bluth, John Pomeroy, and Gary Goldman, and rewritten by David N. Weiss, collaborating with the producers from October through December 1987. They built around the title All Dogs Go to Heaven, and drew inspiration from films such as It's a Wonderful Life, Little Miss Marker, and A Guy Named Joe. The film's title came from a book read to Bluth's 4th grade class, and he resisted suggestions to change it, stating he liked how provocative it sounded and how people reacted to the title alone. During the production of their previous feature film, Sullivan Bluth Studios had moved from Van Nuys, California, to a state-of-the-art studio facility in Dublin, Ireland, and the film was their first to begin production wholly at the Irish studio. It was also their first film to be funded from sources outside of Hollywood, as the previous 2 feature films, American Tail and The Land Before Time, had been backed by Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures, and executive producers Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, for The Land of Time only, exercised a degree of control over the content of the films, a situation that Bluth found disagreeable. The studio found investment from UK-based Goldcrest Films in a US $70 million deal to produce 3 animated feature films, though only 2, Rockadoodle and It, were completed under the deal. The 3 founding members of the studio, Bluth, Pomeroy, and Goldman, had all moved to Ireland to set up the new facility, but during the film's production, John Pomeroy returned to the United States to head up a satellite studio which provided some of the animation for the film. Pomeroy also used his presence in the United States to generate early publicity for the film, including a presentation at the 1987 San Diego Comic-Con. The film's lead voices, Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise, had previously appeared together in 5 films. For this one, they requested them to record their parts in the studio together, and American animation actors more commonly record their parts solo. Bluth agreed and allowed the duo to ad-lib extensively. Bluth later commented that their ad-libs were often better than the original script, but Reynolds was more complimentary of the draft, warmly quipping, "Great script, kid," as he left the studio. Another pair of voices, those of Carface and Killer, Vic Tayback and Charles Nelson Reilly respectively, also recorded together. Lonnie Anderson, who voices Flo, was Reynolds' then wife. Child actress Judith Barcy, who voiced Ducky in Bluth's previous film The Land Before Time, was selected to voice Anne Marie. She was killed in an apparent murder-suicide over a year before All Dogs was released. Bluth recalled that the animation team were too upset to work on scenes involving Anne Marie for 2 weeks after Barcy's death, as animating required them to listen to cassette recordings they had of her voice. In the 2000s, an erroneous rumor emerged on the internet claiming that Reynolds broke down crying while recording his final scene involving Barcy's character due to her passing, despite evidence that Reynolds would have finished recording dialogue before Barcy's death. Bluth later denied the rumor on his X account. As production neared completion, the studio held test screenings and decided that some scenes were too intense for young viewers. Palmera decided to shorten Charlie's nightmare about being condemned. Goldman also agreed to the cut, recognizing that the concession needed to be made in the middle of commercial appeal. Bluth owned a private 35mm print with the excised scenes, and planned to convince Goldcrest on releasing a director's cut after returning from Ireland in the mid-1990s, but the print was eventually stolen from Bluth's locked storage room, diminishing hopes of this version being released on home media. Citation needed. The music for All Dogs Go to Heaven was composed by Ralph Burns, with songs by Charles Strauss, T.J. Quenster, Joel Hirshhorn, and Al Kasha. An official soundtrack was released on 1st July 1989 by Curb Records on audio cassette and CD, featuring 13 tracks, including 7 vocal songs performed by various cast members. The track Let Me Be Surprised contains a swear word and a dialogue cut from the final product. Love Survives, citation needed. Love Survives, the end credits song and overall theme, was dedicated to Anne Marie's voice actress Judy Barcy, who was shot by her father Yosef along with her mother Maria before the film's release on 25th of July 1988. Original songs performed in the film include 1. You Can't Keep a Good Dog Down, written by Charles Strauss, performed by Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise. Let Me Be Surprised, written by Charles Strauss, performed by Melba Moore and Burt Reynolds. What's Mine Is Yours, Charles Strauss, Burt Reynolds, and chorus. Soon You'll Come Home, T.J. Quenster, Lana Beeson. Let's Make Music Together, Charles Strauss, Ken Page, and Burt Reynolds. Hallelujah, T.J. Quenster, and Candy Devine. And finally, Love Survives by Al Kasha, Joel Hirshhorn, and Michael Lloyd, performed by Irene Cara and Freddie Jackson. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 46% of 28 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 5.5 out of 10. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 50 out of 100 based on 8 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Reviewers often drew unfavorable comparisons to The Little Mermaid, criticizing the disjointed narrative, the quality of the animation, and the songs by Charles Strauss and T.J. Quenster. The film received a thumbs down from Gene Siskel and a thumbs up from Roger Ebert on a 1989 episode of their television program At the Movies. While Siskel found it to be surprisingly weak given director Don Bluth's previous work, largely due to its confusing story and needlessly violent scenes, Ebert was a huge fan of the film's rubbery and kind of flexible animation, stating that it was a good film despite not being an animated classic. Some also found the darker subject matter objectionable in a family film, given the film's depictions of death, violence, theft, drinking, smoking, gambling, murder, demons, and images of hell. Other reviewers were mostly positive, with critics praising the film's emotional qualities, humor, and vibrant color palette. Roger Ebert, who was unimpressed with Bluth's previous film, An American Tail, gave it 3 out of 4 stars, remarking that the animation permits such a voluptuous use of color that the movie is an invigorating bath for the eyes, and that although he preferred The Little Mermaid, which opened on the same day, he still found All Dogs Go to Heaven to be bright and inventive. In contrast, film critic Leonard Maltin gave it 1.5 out of 4 stars due to unappealing characters, confusing storytelling, and forgettable songs. Common Sense Media was concerned about the depictions of illegal drug usage and excessive dark thematic elements in a family-oriented film. Dissatisfied with the terms imposed by Universal Pictures, which had distributed their previous 2 films, the studio found an alternative disruptor in United Artists. Somewhat unusually, production investors Goldcrest Films covered the cost of the release prints in the promotional campaign in return for a greatly reduced distribution fee from UA. This was similar to the arrangement with United Artists when they distributed Bluth's first feature film, The Secret of Nim. Goldcrest Films invested $15 million in print and promotion. Due to contractual issues, very little tie-in merchandise accompanied the film's theatrical release. A computer game adaptation for the Commodore Amiga system with a free software package was released, and restaurant chain Wendy's offered toys with their kids' meal on regular fronts. The film opened in North America on 17th November 1989, concurrent with Disney's 28th full-length animated motion picture, The Little Mermaid. Once again, Sullivan Bluth would be vying for box office receipts with Disney, just as their last two films, An American Tail and The Land Before Time, had. On its theatrical release, the film was only moderately successful as its performance fell short of the studio's previous box office successes, grossing $27 million in North America alone, just over half of what An American Tail and The Land Before Time each took. This would be Bluth's final box office hit until Anastasia was released 8 years later in 1997, which ended up becoming his highest grossing film. All Dogs Go to Heaven received a nomination for Best Family Motion Picture Adventure Cartoon at the 11th Annual Youth and Film Awards ceremony, being beaten by Disney's The Little Mermaid. The home video release received an award of excellence from the Film Advisory Board. All Dogs Go to Heaven was nominated for Best Family Motion Picture Adventure Cartoon at the Youth in Film Awards. All Dogs Go to Heaven was released on VHS, SVHS, 8mm video, and Laserdisc in both regular and special CAV standard PlayStation editions by MGM/UA Home Video on August 28, 1990. The film became a sleeper hit due to its home video release. A strong promotional campaign helped to become one of the top-selling VHS releases of all time, selling over 3 million copies in its first month. The film was followed by another VHS release under the MGM/UA Family Entertainment label in 1994, which was available exclusively through Warner Home Video. A DVD was made available for the first time on March 6, 2001, under the MGM Kids label, and was later released as a double feature with All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 on March 14, 2006. The film made its debut on Blu-ray on March 29, 2011, and was later included as a bundle with its sequel on October 7, 2014, along with a re-release of the compilation on DVD. The Blu-ray version was also packaged with another Don Bluth film, The Pebble and the Penguin, on October 8, 2013, and again with 8 other MGM films as part of the company's 90th anniversary Best of Family collection on 4th February 2014. A video game based on the film, also titled All Dogs Go to Heaven, was released in 1989 for MS-DOS and in 1990 for Amiga. The game has 10 minigames loosely tied to form a story mode with 3 difficulty levels. The game's minigames include rat racing, watch catching, horizontal ball and paddle, maze navigating, shape stacking, maze running, hangman, jigsaw puzzle, street navigating, and dog fighting. An Activity Center game based on the film, titled All Dogs Go to Heaven Activity Center, was released for Windows PC in 1997. The success of the film, particularly its performance on home video, prompted several follow-up productions: a theatrical sequel, All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, a television series, All Dogs Go to Heaven the Series, and an All Dogs Christmas Carol, a Christmas television film based on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, were all made. Bluth and his studio had no involvement with any of them, and Reynolds did not reprise his role as Charlie after the first film. He was replaced in the sequel film and television by Charlie Sheen and Steve Weber. Okay. Rayleigh declined to return for the sequel film, but voiced Killer for the television productions. DeLuise played Itchy through the entire franchise. Did you like that? I said, did you like that? He demands you answer him. I've been live for an hour, so I'm gonna probably leave. Alright, well, time to go to bed then. It's not that late, but I've cooked a beat. Nothing else. I played Hotline Bling. So I think it's time to go. There we go. End.